welcome to my channel Green Line Goddess Tarot. So today we're going to talk about Pluto, the planet of the underworld, named by an 11-year-old girl after the god of the underworld. And Pluto is a fascinating planet. I actually really love it. But the reason I wanted to do this today is because Pluto has gone into retrograde and will be in retrograde until October the 9th or the 10th. And so this is an energy of Pluto is the planet of transformation. It reveals a lot, but because it's going retrograde, this is more of an internal energy of going deep within. And so this can feel like, the reason I'm doing this as well is because this can feel like a dark place for people, depending on what's going on for you in your astrology chart, but also it can be a place of deep transformation and empowerment. And Mercury is going back and bringing some messages from this place, this underworld. And so we're meeting ourselves deep in the underworld. And this is where truths get revealed to you, get shown to you. And actually Pluto is meant to be a neutral energy, this planet, but it's a little bit like being given a key, and what do you want to do with it, how you respond to that. And is, or how you feel about it is whether it's going to go one way or the other. And there's no right or wrong way with Pluto. There's no judgment in there. It's just showing you something. It's showing the truth, unraveling the truth. So this is where secrets can be brought up to the surface. And these can be things that, you're finding things out about other people. But I do feel like mostly this is you coming in and being shown something very clearly about yourself. Now, Pluto doesn't want to just show you something for the sake of, okay, I'm showing you the truth. It actually does want you to use that truth and transform your life in some way. And that's going to be easier or harder with people depending on, like I said, what's going on for you in terms of your astrology chart and in terms of your life. And so I wanted to go in and just tune in to these messages that are coming in from Mercury and Pluto that are coming back up to the surface, and bring kind of a message of empowerment. So I'm going to do that through intuition and tarot, and I'm going to be pulling some cards for all 12 signs. So they will be in chapters after this. So you can go to and it's for sun, moon and rising as well. So if you want to watch all three of your placements, that would be great as well. So I'm going to do a little reading for each of the 12 signs. And Pluto is the planet also where things are black and white. There's no gray area. It just either is or it isn't. And it's also a planet of elimination. It's showing you what you can remove from your life, or what is no longer needed, what has passed in some way or is passing, so that you can release that. So there is a deep sense of release as well that can come with Pluto. But it can also bring things like you can be becoming a little bit more it can obsessive about things, or ruminating, or just really connecting deeply with something as well. It's a very intense energy to deal with. And some people, like I said, work better with that than others. And it's going back over some ground that we've been dealing with over the past year or two. So this is kind of where I do feel like mostly Pluto is giving you some clues as to how to move forward with some of the energies that you've been working with. It's like I'm going back over some old ground. And if you know where Capricorn is in your natal chart, this is where you can look, or where Pluto is, you can look and see where this may be affecting you if you want to go deeper into the astrology. But in general, Pluto is a planet that is possibly, if you are finding yourself thinking about something or connecting to something on more an intense level, a little bit more, or somebody, this is where Pluto is showing you some of your desires. It's showing you some of the things that you really want. And then it's about interacting with that in hopefully a healthy and empowering way as well. So yeah, there's lots happening. So I just wanted to start off with a little intro about Pluto and what's going on. And because Pluto is in Capricorn, it's all about your interrelationship with the outside world as well. So how you respond to the outside world. But I think that this retrograde energy is something that's happening deeper inside of us. So without further ado, I'm going to launch into the 12 signs, starting with Aries. So let's pull some cards for Aries. We've got the Seven of Crystals, options and results. Fantastic. So this is where you are being presented with, it's like a picture is forming clearer for you, and you're looking at your options. So I do feel like it's showing you that the deeper you go with something and look further into it, the further you're going to see more possibilities here. So that actually is really great. We've got Knight of Knight of Crystals, endurance and determination. And we've got the Ace of Crystals, manifestation and prosperity. Wow. So this would suggest that there's something that Pluto is asking of you that is developing in the material world. So with the Ace of Crystals, this is like the Ace of Pentacles energy. So a lot of earth energy. So it's going back and retrieving a seed that it wants you to plant in your life that could bring some prosperity. But it's saying that it is about the longer term energy. It's about sticking with it for the long term, staying with it, because it wants you to kind of commit to this. So this is an interesting energy, and it's saying through this sheer determination and sticking with something, you can get some really positive results. You're probably in the stage at the moment where the picture is becoming clearer and clearer as to what your options are. But once you understand what the thing is that you really want to put a lot of energy into, that you really want to commit to, this will I sort of get that this is something that could really manifest it positively in your life and could actually make you some money. So it does feel like it's ultimately probably connected to anything to do with work, career, or health as well. So it's something on a material resource level in the realms of that. So this, for some of you, could be anything, but it does feel like it's asking you to plant this seed that could be very, very successful for you. So that is the message for Aries from Pluto. So we're going to move on to Taurus and see what message we have for Taurus from Pluto. So what message is coming through for Taurus? We've got the Queen of Crystals, comfort and prosperity. I love this, the beautiful little hedgehog energy. And this is all about just feeling that inner stability and working out where it is that you feel really comfortable. And it can be indicated through your relationship to money and health and home as well. We've got Ace of Feathers, mental clarity and foundation. I love this. Okay. And we'll pull one more for you, Taurus, and we'll talk about this message coming in. So basically, it's showing you something very clearly that you need to feel really comfortable in life. And we've got the Two of Crystals, balance and adaptability. Okay, interesting. So it's showing you the balance between wanting to stay in a comfort zone, to be really, really comfortable with something, but also to be able to step out of that occasionally, find the clarity to be able to do this, to move beyond and to move and reach your challenges with flexibility. You're making these big new leaps and bounds in your life at this moment in time. And it's saying not to stay too long in a comfort zone, but to be really clear about what you're comfortable with in terms of moving forward and setting new goals and how you want to achieve it. So there's like I said, a degree of flexibility that's coming in. So it needs to have a very stable base. And this is where you're going in and finding that sense of what brings that stability to you. And this may be new information for some of you, or it's just a strengthening of what you already knew. It's happening on a very deep level of this is what I need so that I can go off and do something a bit different or challenge myself a little bit, but I need to have this sense of where I can come home and feel really safe and secure. And so this is where it's showing you what area of your life you need to feel stable in so that you can actually be more open to some change and challenges and growth in your life. So it's actually a really positive energy. And so this Ace of Feathers, which is like the equivalent of the Ace of Swords, we've got mental clarity and foundation. Like I said, it's about getting really clear inside of your mind and your head. And once you know that, it's like you're able to kind of commit to some new things, learning some new skills or setting new challenges for yourself. So there's a lot going on inside of your mind, the foundations of your mind here, and how you're interpreting what it is that you need in your life. So yeah, I feel like this is like a really great energy I feel like it's giving you a very, very strong platform to jump off upon. But you need that platform. So that's it. It's kind of saying that it's encouraging you to try some new things, to set out and to challenge yourself a little bit, but not to do it in a way that feels too out of your comfort zone or in a way that you're not going to be happy with. This is all about you have to feel good about this. So that's it, Taurus. So moving on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, what messages do we have coming in for you? We've got the Seven of Acorns, determination and stamina. Okay, so fantastic. This is really saying there's a passage that you are going through at this moment in time where it could be dealing with some very deep emotions, but it is about finding that sense of being able to get through and finding that determination and stamina to stick with something that has been challenging you. So let's see. We've got the Hermit, contemplation and wisdom. I love this little koala. Absolutely beautiful. So, and the Seven of Crystals, synergy and gratitude. You've got two sevens actually in the Hermit. So this is where there's a deep evaluation going on. And if you can spend a bit of time thinking about it, like this is going deep within, connecting to the inner wisdom, your own inner wisdom, understanding the messages that you're getting coming through. This is the Hermit energy is a Virgo energy, and it's ruled by Mercury, your ruler as well. So Mercury is actually going to be giving you some really, really strong messages about where you're at in your life and how to move forward in the situation that you're in. And part of this is that seeing that you've worked really, really hard for something in your life and to see that you have done really well with something. Like I said, there is this sense of being really coming out, having gone deep within and seeing something really clearly and got some very clear messages of being deeply grateful for something that's coming or someone in your life. So I kind of feel with a relationship energy, this is a bit of a longer term energy that's coming through as well. And it feels like a deepening of a commitment to somebody or something in your life that you're realizing is even that you're realizing is something that you need and you want to stay in your life for a very, very long time, or this person as well, this person you want to be here. And so there is a sense of harmony that comes through in a relationship and being really grateful for the people that have been there by your side through the hard times as well. And so it feels like a very open-hearted energy of acknowledging the people or the energies that were there for you. Now, it may not feel like there has been for some of you, but this is finding that energy within yourself. But what they're actually saying is that there is an energy here that is either wanting to be by your side or has been by your side. Now, because Pluto is the underworld, it doesn't have to actually be somebody that's on this human realm at this moment in time. It can be somebody who's passed. But if you're feeling a little bit like you've been a bit alone or isolated, the Six of Crystals is a beautiful energy of connection coming in as well. So it's interesting because Pluto can put up walls. It can have a coolness to it. So there's a sense of a wall coming down in terms of your connection and opening your heart to connections. And one in particular is coming through where, like I said, there's this beautiful energy of synergy and gratitude that's coming through with this, which is really lovely. So that is your message, Gemini. Okay, so moving on to Cancer. Okay. Moving on to Cancer. What messages do we have for Cancer? Okay, we have the Six of Acorns, success and triumph. Okay, I like it, Cancer. And we've got 10 of Feathers, recovery, transformation. That's a very Plutonian energy. And we've got the Ace of Shells, happiness and abundance. Oh my goodness, wow. This is such a beautiful, deep emotional energy of renewal, restoration, and the birth of something new on an emotional level that is restorative, which is transformational, which can actually help heal some very deep wounds, even some deep traumas that have occurred here. So this is something very beautiful that is birthing in your life on a deep inner level, which is absolutely gorgeous here, Cancer. It is a very, very beautiful energy to come through. And this is, Pluto's going to be in Capricorn, which is your opposite sign energy. So this is where it can bring challenges to you. But if you overcome the challenges, the rewards are going to be even greater. And I'm seeing a very, very beautiful a reward here of emotional renewal and happiness and abundance, which is absolutely beautiful. This Ace of Shells is the equivalent of the Ace of Cups, which also brings healing as well. So it's connecting to joy and healing, which is really lovely. But I like how it's got this Six of Acorns, which is a very, very successful energy of recognizing something or being recognized or feeling like you've successfully recovered from something. So there's a successful recovery energy, and this is what Pluto is showing you. It's going deep down and showing you, at least I kind of feel like it's showing you the path, the way. It's just showing you that they're showing me no past, present, or future. There's no timeline. This is just where you've deeply needed to recover from something, and that has been transforming. So there is this very successful energy of stepping into a new emotional cycle that brings with this lovely energy of the Ace of Shells, which is really beautiful. It's like diving deep into an emotional energy that's going to feel really good for your soul. So this can be the birth of love, the birth of new relationships, the birth of new feelings, the birth of doing something that you love. But yes, I do feel like there's been a deep healing that occurs here for you, Cancer, which is really lovely. So I think this is actually a very beautiful energy coming through for you. So that's it. And some of you, it may be around success, wanting to bring in success to your world or wanting to be or feel recognized for something. So those themes might come in as well. So that's it, Cancer. So let's move on to Leo. Okay, we have the Three of Acorns. Foresight and exploration is coming in. Interesting. Okay, I love this beautiful little giraffe. So it's seeing things from a higher perspective, and it's a sense of, I feel like you're planning that it's showing you something that you may have deeply been planning for a while, and it's gaining perspective from that. Forewarned is forearmed, but not in a negative way with this, because Pluto's wanting you to explore something very deeply here. So it's kind of saying we're going to take you on a deep journey. So let's see where you're going. The Empress, beauty and abundance. We love this. Okay, my goodness. Wow, Leo. And the Three of Shells, playfulness, bliss. Oh, this is such beautiful energy to come through for you. So, wow. Okay. So this is all about connecting deeply to your inner child energy, and also like it's an inner child energy and connecting deeply to love. So it's wanting to explore what it is that you need to feel truly loved, what it is that you need to feel or see beauty in the world. It's an expansion and growth of beauty and how you're perceiving your world. But I feel like you're going back and retrieving something incredibly beautiful here, Leo, that is, it's so sweet and innocent, and it's been living there in the underworld. So it's wanting to come up and play, which is actually a really, really nice energy to connect to. So I'm actually feeling a lot of joy with this, which is kind of not a very Plutonian energy. The journey to finding this joy is deep within, and that's kind of what the Pluto is saying to you. So it's wanting you to explore these energies deep within you of where you can find abundance, where you can find this playfulness and bliss, where you can really look at how you can bring more of that into your world. Like the Three of Shells is like the Three of Cups. It's the energy of abundance and celebration as well. So ultimately, it's deep on a deeper level. It's wanting to connect you to the abundant energies in your world and to find ways to celebrate that. And so I do feel also what they're showing me is that you're kind of going deep within and finding a part of yourself and connecting with the part of yourself that I think you could truly love here. And it's going to be different for all of you as to how you respond to this, but I do feel like there's a deep healing that's coming in of the inner child energy. And the universe, what Pluto is showing you, how beautiful you are, what an amazing person you truly are. So it's a gift of love, really, from Pluto. It's a love letter from Pluto showing you on a deeper level some of the very, very uniquely beautiful things to you. So, and this can bring up some emotions, absolutely, but this might deeply empowering and could deeply resonate for some of you. So it's connecting deeply into your heart, and throughout this process could definitely be healing some deep wounds. So it's a nice energy. It's actually a very beautiful energy, and the Empress is kind of saying that perhaps there's something that you could be bringing into your world as well, that when you come back up out of this energy, and it might be later in the year, it might not be something that activates just now for you, Leo, but there's something that could potentially come into the material world that could bring some energy of abundance and success with it. But I feel like it's just here at this moment. What's the word? It's informing some decisions in your life or the direction that you're going in at this moment. It's guiding it. But I don't feel like you'll see some concrete results for this until much later on in the year. So, but at the moment, it's this guiding energy, which is really beautiful. So that's it, Leo. What a beautiful energy to connect to with Pluto. Okay. So let's move on to Virgo. Virgo, let's see what's coming in, what messages are coming in from Pluto for you. So let's see what's coming in for Virgo. Here are your three cards. We have the Page of Crystals, ideas and discipline. Great. So you're uncovering or unearthing some sort of idea you want to develop. We've got the Seven of Crystals, options and results. And we've also got the Five of Crystals, persistence and new possibilities. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. So this is on a deeper level, unearthing something that is opening you up to the new, opening you up. And I feel like there's this expansion of what you think is possible in your life. But there's definitely this sense of there's something new that's very close to you, perhaps even close to your heart, but you may not know what this is yet. That's what they're showing me, is you're going in and the picture may appear unclear at first. But when eventually it will, eventually you're looking at, eventually the choices will start being shown to you a little bit more clearer. Perhaps the picture will become clearer about what this is. But I do feel like there's this lovely energy of opening up to a whole heap of new things. But it's about needing to go into the process and work out what those things are, because at this moment you might not know what they are. But I do think it's a beautiful, beautiful energy of coming in and really, when you get the idea, when you get what it is that you're wanting to develop in your life here, and because it's the Page of Crystals is like the Page of Pentacles. So this is very much like an earth element here, that something that you're developing on that you could feel sensitive about. There could be a sensitivity about it, or as a sense that it needs to just be in the darkness for the moment. It's not ready to come up to the light. But there's also a sense of sticking with this and not letting it go, because there's a sense of at some point you're working very, very strongly on an idea that you've had about yourself or something that you've got going on in your life, and the universe wants you to stick with this. It all feels like it's all happening underneath the surface in this underground world. But ultimately, when you're ready to come back out again, when I think later in the year when Pluto comes out of retrograde and turns direct again and starts heading in the normal direction again, this is where you're actually going to realize, and I kind of get there could be a bit of emotional exhaustion with this, that you've kind of gone in and done a lot of deep work and looked at I feel like you're going to get some very positive, tangible results that you're seeing here. So you might be making some changes in your life. So just say you're getting a message around your health, say. This is where Pluto is guiding you, and you might actually quite literally be doing something like with your health that's shifting and changing. And I feel like if you're listening to these ideas and sticking with some of them, you're going to get some really, really positive results, but it does require that discipline to stick with it. And this feels like when this seed is ready to come up, when these energies are ready to come up more to the surface, because it feels like there's a lot going on guiding you at the base about sticking with something and then doing something up in your human world, up in the surface realm. But there's also an energy of there's something that you've worked on, a seed that you've planted that is just germinating at this moment. Oh, well, no, it's just sleeping. Sleeping is not the right, it's not germinating, it's sleeping at this moment. There's a seed that's going to sleep for about, May, June, July, October, for about 4 or 5 months. And it's sleeping for even longer, 5 or 6 months. So it's around that time period. There's a sleeper energy here of something that is just staying in there for the moment. And when it's ready to come up and out, it's like you're ready to open up to a whole heap of new things, which is going to be really interesting for you. But I kind of get, Virgo, that it's like also giving you little messages, like mini things to do in your life, like mini shifts and changes, to kind of trust the process of this bigger seed that is being planted, that is sleeping throughout this Pluto retrograde, and will come up after Pluto turns direct in October. So yes, very interesting. I feel like Pluto's putting you to work, but in a productive and positive way. And I feel like this is going to work. This is going to feel good for you and it feels like it's kind of got a process to it. So it feels like it's kind of like there's this deeper seed, and then one idea will come up, you're shifting and working on that. Another idea will come up. It's all very methodical, like it's until, like I said, the original root idea, or the root of what it is that was causing all these little mini shifts and changes, is ready to come up. So, yeah, I think it's teaching you a lot about opening up to things that you previously didn't think you could do or didn't think you wanted to do. So ultimately, yeah, it's opening you up to actually make things possible that perhaps you didn't think were possible. So, yeah, this is the energy, Virgo. So that's it. Beautiful. Okay, so let's move on to Libra. What is coming in for Libra? We've got King of Acorns, optimism and innovation. Okay, interesting. So this is really asking you to shift and make some positive changes coming in, and it's kind of a progressive energy of change. So it's interesting to see what else this is coming through with Libra. I'll just pull an extra card. We've got release and recovery, the Three of Feathers. Okay, so this is interesting. The Three of Feathers is about healing a wound as well. And it's feeling like you might be finding some different ways or exploring different ways to heal some wounds in your life. The Two of Shells, union and harmony, especially around love or relationships. So this is actually where I feel like you're going in and doing some deep work on that emotional relationship level, or to do with love. And ultimately, it's showing you how to transform a past hurt around love and relationships, something that deeply hurts you. So it is a positive shift, a positive change that's coming through with this King of Acorns. And like I said, there may be that you've always kind of looked at it a certain way or taken a certain approach to this. And this is saying there's different ways. Pluto is showing you different ways, different approaches, and there's fire here. So Pluto is actually connected to a fire energy. So I'm kind of getting the element of fire is activating you at the moment. So yeah, this is very much a sense that it is around trusting your passions, your instincts, your drives, trusting what your goals want to be, and how this relates to love and relationships in your life, and trusting that you can take action on this, and that, yeah, there is a deep sense of trusting yourself with this, trusting yourself to follow your heart and to take action and to release any kind of energy where you've been deeply hurt when you've done this before in the past. So this is actually a really beautiful energy of wanting to connect you to this beautiful Two of Shells, which is union and harmony. This is kind of the gift that Pluto gives you at the end of it, because he's sort of saying you do have to see something, you do have to do a little bit of work here, but then you're going to come out with this union and harmony energy, or the potential for that anyway. This is just all about working with this energy in an empowering way. So, yeah, there's this deep recovery on an emotional level of a wound that is absolutely beautiful energy. And like I said, it's really about learning to trust yourself as well. And it doesn't have to necessarily be around love. It can be around creativity or just activating what it is that you want to do with your life. But I do see it's about connecting you deeply to something or someone that you're passionate about, and where previously there's been things that there's been deep wounds around that. So that's actually, I think that there's a beautiful gift that's coming out. And the Two of Shells is the equivalent of the Two of Cups, which is the card of love and relationships. So this is a beautiful energy to come through for you, Libra. So that's it. Okay, we're going to move on to Scorpio. So Scorpio, Pluto is your... Sorry, Scorpio, I just had a tickle in my throat. Pluto is your ruler. So Pluto is going to have a special affection or affinity with you guys. So we've got at the moment the Queen of Shells, peace and compassion, beautiful. And the Queen of Acorns, passion and creativity. So far, two queens are coming in, which would show this is a very deeply internal feminine space that you're coming into. But this is actually really beautiful, these two energies, the passion and creativity and the peace and compassion. So I think that this is very much an energy of wanting to bring something beautiful into the world. So this could be for some of you who are really creative. This could be that you're kind of working on a project that is just there, like it's something that you're thinking about, you're getting ideas about, but maybe it's not quite ready to actually be put out there into the world yet. So I would say just sit with this. But whether this is a creative project or not, there is a sense of bringing in, I just want to pull a last card to get a fuller picture of what this is about for you, Scorpio. This is a beautiful energy to connect to. We've got the Emperor. Wow, focus and stability coming in. So, yeah, it really is about... Okay, Scorpio, so what I'm getting is that it's like something has been really icy here within a relationship. There's a wall that's been put up where you haven't been able to connect to some of these energies of peace and compassion, passion and creativity. And there is this sense that you've been cut off from an energy or from somebody. There's this, like I said, this cold wall that's been put up here. Whether this is between you and somebody else or you and yourself, but I'm not feeling the energy. There's a part that feels it feels numb, to be honest, Scorpio. It feels like I can't feel that for whatever reason. It's something that you have emotionally been cut off from. So interesting energy to come through, because what it's wanting to say to you is that you needed to do this to feel stable and secure. You really needed this. But there's a deep questioning of if this is something you still need. And it's not answering the question, it's just purely a deep exploration of that. You needed to protect yourself in some way. And it feels like it could go back through the past, through some memories. Some of them good, not some of them not so good. But it's like, where have you shut yourself off from connecting? And why? I just get this, I can hear like, it feels like I'm in some very icy cold place. It's a little bit Game of Thrones-ish, you know. I don't know if you know The Wall, where there's this huge wall and it's just ice. I'm just here, I keep hearing the wind, like the wind in the background. So, but interestingly, like Pluto is taking you there to this. It's showing you this at least. But there's a sense of being able to stand on top of that wall, or at least somewhere near that wall, and feel the coolness, but to be really alive and alert and present with it, which is really interesting. And to just understand and see the truth. There could be moments of revelation. There could be moments of resolve. It's just a matter of visiting this and getting what information you need to hear from it. And you will know, it will just be a sense of standing there and quietly just knowing something. And it will be different for all of you what the answer is that lies in with this. So and when you are ready to leave, you will leave this place that Pluto has taken you to. But there will be a deep knowing inside of you, inside your heart. And the truth that lies there is what can bring the transformation. What can set you free is what they're saying. But it's up to you. So there's this very quiet dignity, there's this deep knowing, there's this deep understanding about where you're at with something, and there's a deep sense of understanding what resonates and what's needed in this energy and what isn't anymore. So, yeah, interesting. So that's it, Scorpio. It kind of just took me to a very different place, your particular reading, which doesn't surprise me. You're very different from the others, but yeah, I'm going to move on now. So I think there's going to be a very intense and potentially deep experience for you, Scorpio, but I also feel like there's this ability to transform deeply, which is going to be amazing. It actually feels good to have this deep knowing inside of you, particularly inside of your heart as well. But it doesn't actually feel like your heart. It feels like your soul, like a soul knowing that comes through. So moving on to Sagittarius, we have the Tower. Release and revelation is coming in for you, Saggy. So yes, release and revelation. So this is where some deep truths are going to be shown to you, which allows you to release some energy that feels like it's been trapped around it. We've definitely got the Knight of Shells, charm and passion. Okay, this is where you've kind of been shut off from being like that, being very charming and passionate. This is kind of where I feel like you're connecting back into a softer, kind of more gregarious side to yourself, a side where you've been a little bit more playful, a side that feels like it was being cut off for whatever reason. I feel like there's an opening where there's a warmth that's coming through with this Tower energy. So very interesting. I feel like other people are potentially going to be finding you attractive or warm or fun as well. There's connecting to these energies where they felt like they were once cut off. Now, that doesn't have to be all of your life, but there's a part of you that, for whatever reason, there was a lack of connection. You disconnected from something and now you're coming back in and going, you know what, I love doing that. Or I love, it's connecting to Yeah, and it's infectious, this energy. That's what I'm getting, is that it feels like you're getting your mojo back a little bit. We've got the Knight of Acorns, action and drive. So this is where you're suddenly going, this feels like a bit of a stagnant energy, this Tower energy here, actually. So it feels like an energy was trapped or stagnated, which stopped you from doing something or stopped you from connecting to joy and passion. And this is where I actually think this Tower energy is really, really positive. It's coming in and it feels like a boom. It feels like a moment of clarity or just a release of some sort. So it could just be where it's like, I just can't do this anymore. The moment of truth, in a way, where you've just reached a point where that's it. You just can't keep going on with a certain energy. And it's not a bad thing. I actually feel like it's one of those really, really positive things where it's like, I've kind of tried to keep this energy down for too long and now it just can't stay there anymore. It has to come up and out. It's erupting up and out. And the energy that's coming out actually feels really, really nice. So, it does feel like it's connecting to something that you're going to get inspired with again. You're going to start doing something that you really, really love, and you're going to maybe connecting to new goals. You're going to be connecting to your fire, which feels really good for you. And it's like you're off on new adventures, or you're opening up to new experiences, which actually feels really, really nice for you, Sagittarius. So this is where, it just feels like this Tower energy. And this could be a huge emotional energy as well. Like you just might need to have a good cry for a day or whatever it is. Maybe you just see the truth clearly, but it's like, I have to be doing this. Suddenly it releases all this energy that's been trapped. You've got all this energy to throw into something, which is really amazing. And so I feel like, if some of you are like writing that novel or writing that book or setting a new goal in your life, it's just a sense of moving forward with all this energy, that newfound energy that was always there that you're reconnecting to. So this is really lovely. I feel like you kind of, like I said, getting your mojo back, but this could also be a very productive time as well. So not productive as in it's a productive as in it feels like you're getting inspired and moving forward with things. And I feel like you're able to kind of direct the energy now that feels like it was really trapped. So yeah, that's it, Sagittarius. It actually feels really good. This feels like really fantastic energy for you. So yeah, I think that you could achieve some great things with this energy once it gets released. So that's it. That's what the message for Pluto for you today, Saggy. So Capricorn, so this is all happening in your sign. Pluto is in Capricorn. So this could be very much related to you, like your deep sense of self, of what's going on, your soul purpose in life. So let's see what's coming through with Pluto. And you would be knowing this energy. It's an energy you've probably been working with for a while, but we'll see. I do feel like we'll go back and find out what this message is that Pluto has for you, where I feel like you can move forward with something now. We've got Queen of Feathers, perception and truth. So that's actually really like a really Plutonian energy to come through. We've got Four of Crystals, control and security. And we've also got Two of Shells, union and harmony. Wow. Really, really amazing energy to come through, because it's showing you what are you holding on to for fear of letting go, especially in relationship to love and relationships. And it's wanting to open you up. So it's kind of showing you that there's this overview where it's like you've had to set up some structures. You've had to be very much in control or have some kind of self-control, but it's sort of in a weird way wanting you to release something that you felt very controlled or wanted to have control over, which is really interesting, in particular to something that you thought you needed for your security. So it's kind of showing you that something can be done slightly differently, and that there is a sense of there's growth coming in relationships, and there's growth coming in terms of love and the harmony within relationships as well, to be able to open up to that more. But it's like, I feel like you've got this tight grip on something, like it has to be this way, or I can't let go of it because I might lose it, or whatever it is. And it's showing you a deep-seated fear around relationships. But this is positive because it's wanting to bring in this Two of Shells, this union and harmony. It's saying there's growth that's coming that could bring more of that in, but you kind of, in a weird way, need to surrender and trust some of this energy going into the underworld, trust some of the messages that you're being given. And so, yeah, it's actually, I think it's a very empowering energy that's coming through around this. So, yeah, a beautiful energy to come in, and that's your message, Capricorn. Doesn't matter. Okay, so moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius, what is coming in for Aquarius? We've got the Knight of Acorns, action drive, the Page of Crystals, ideas and discipline, and I will pull one. I feel like Pluto's going to keep you busy here, Aquarius. Pluto's got some ideas it's wanting you to work on, but it's saying there's things here that you need to kind of address. You need to take some action on it. We've got the Knight of Feathers as well, action and focus. You've got action twice, action, focus, ideas, discipline. You're kind of getting a very strong message that this is if there's any kind of ideas that you've been working on in your life, the universe, like Pluto's saying now's the time to be putting something into action or working out a plan with it. So it's really wanting you to focus in on some of these ideas, fixed ideas that you've had about something that is ready to activate. So I feel like it's still there in the underworld. It's still there, but it's like you might be doing like the research phase or the planning phase or writing some things out. But it's a sense that you can't stay still with something anymore. Something may have been like you put off, or something may have been, like suspended for whatever reason. And these are all up, ready. These seeds are all ready to go. So there's the universe. Pluto's saying go, go, go with some things, which is really interesting. They've all come up to the surface and they're like, okay, ready to be activated, ready to be germinated. So, yeah, I think it's a really fascinating thing. You might actually find yourself coming up with what feels like new ideas for you, but it's really going back over some old things that have been playing on your mind or going around your mind that are ready to kind of be addressed now. Now's the time. So I think that mentally you're going to be very busy with this, very active. And it's not just about thinking about something anymore. It's saying, you need to actually take action with this. But it is very much wanting you to be able to focus in and be disciplined with this. So it might even be looking at areas where in your life where you felt a little bit scattered, you felt the opposite of that, you felt like there hasn't been a directional drive or a focus, because this is where Pluto's showing you, and it doesn't feel like it's more than one thing, like I'm getting one thing there, 2, 3, 4, there's like 5 things at least that they're wanting you to focus on. So it's not just, like I said, it's multitasking as well. So, it's definitely a lot to be addressed, but this actually feels good because it feels very much like the element of air for you, Aquarius. So it feels like it's just about taking action. It's time. You're getting messages that it's time now to be doing things that you've either haven't been able to think about, you've put off, or it's been on the back burner. So that is the message coming through for you. Okay, so moving on to Pisces. Okay, Pisces, we've got shaman, divine wisdom, spiritual power. Oh, we love that. Wow. Okay, that's a really deep soul energy that you guys are connecting to here. Really amazing. It's very, very powerful. It's showing you what a powerful soul. It may be connecting you to intuitive powers, psychic powers. For some of you, very, very highly intuitive energy. So, it's connecting you to your power, quite literally. But on a deep spiritual energy. The soul is talking to you. It's like you've got a direct line to your soul. We've got the Page of Crystals, which is ideas, discipline. Now, this card has come out a lot for a lot of people, and this is where your soul is kind of wanting you to really focus on something and stick with something. It's like, it's like a laser beam, like this is what I want Pisces to be working on. Knight of Feathers, action and focus is coming in, okay? So it's interesting because I feel like this is one thing in particular that it's wanting you to kind of really like narrow into and go, right, okay. Your soul is kind of giving you an assignment of sorts, but it's just like, right, boom, this is activating in your life. This is something, and it's an idea that potentially has been around for a while, but it's been in your soul energy for a while, but it's time now for it to activate, which is really, really exciting. And so it's going to constantly bring you back to this path. So you might deviate off or get distracted or do something else, and then this comes back to you, this energy that it's kind of keeps you on the straight and narrow. The soul energy is saying, no, I want Pisces to be here, focusing on this. So there's a very definite path they want you to be focusing on. But so like I said, it's like a spiritual teacher. If you get diverted, it's one of those things like obstacles can be detours in the right direction, but it also like whatever, if you kind of going down the path and that's not the right path for you, your soul will kind of bring you back to the right path. So yeah, really, really interesting. And it's kind of just saying this is something that for whatever reason you may have resistance about. You may have been avoiding it, or you may have not ready to step into it, but the soul is saying it's time now to be looking at this. It's time now to be bringing this into your life. It's time now to be taking action on this. So yeah, it feels like for some of you, it's like a call to action, quite literally, a deep calling. And I kind of get this parts of everything's integrated into a whole. So this idea or this energy is ready to go, but there's parts of you that are not ready yet. And this is where, but Pluto is kind of, this energy is demanding you to kind of be looking at this. So I think this is actually a really positive thing for you, Pisces, because it's kind of like if you've always put off, something you've always kind of put off for whatever reason, put off writing that book, or put off traveling to Japan, or whatever it is, put off having that conversation, or put off, maybe addressing something in your life. This is where you come out the other end going, yeah, I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad I tackled that. I'm so glad I feel like I'm in a very different place now. I've done it now and it feels good. So this is where when Pluto's coming back out of retrograde later in the year, it feels a little bit like you find yourself with a sense of gratitude around it. I find yourself in a slightly different energy, a slightly different place because you did this. So, and it's taking you a little bit out of your comfort zone, but it's kind of like, the kid that wants to be a performer, but yet is too scared to be up on stage. So it's sort of like something that you really want, but there's been some fears around it, and the soul energy messages you're getting is now's the time to develop this. So that's it, Pisces. That's your message from Pluto.